Hi, I'm Sil Reynolds.
And I'm Eliza Reynolds, and this is We Thrive TV. So today, we're gonna be talking about how do you as a mom ask the right questions?
That's a lot of pressure. The right questions, the right answers.
Let me explain. By that we mean, have you ever noticed that sometimes in your eagerness to engage with your beloved daughter, asking a certain question can seem to just shut her down? Like you get the one-word answer, fine, or it's okay. And so what we want to explore in this episode is how can we talk about how you can be more attuned to your girl and ask questions or engage with her in a way that's going to really create more connection, because that's the goal.
Exactly, and sometimes I call it the mothering as a martial art dance.
It's really about like being in your body.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and in your instinct, your intuition, and trusting your gut, and your confidence grows as you practice this, moms, just like with any art and any martial art, for sure. And I find that in mothering and daughtering, we are about tools.
Yeah.
We are about giving tools, discussing strategies, but there's no set way. It's so much just about the relationship and your intuition about your particular relationship with your preteen or teen daughter.
And what a relief in some ways. At least I feel like there's no formula. There's no 1, 2, 3 for the perfect relationship. We're all in this messy, beautiful, imperfect thing together. And it's about you getting the tools to try out and really tune into your daughter, to where you're at, to co-create where you want to take your relationship. So Mom, I remember when I was a teen, sometimes some of the best conversations and connections you and I ended up having were when you weren't pushing for that conversation. You know, you weren't necessarily diving in with the deep, meaningful question.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's well said. I as I recall, it was often like magic or grace. You know, oh wow, I don't know what the particular. I couldn't recreate what the particular elements to why that worked, except that my intention was there to connect with you. And my confidence and tuning into my body. And I found that when I would just indirectly approach you and say...
Kind of sidle around.
And say, hey, you want to have some tea?
Yeah.
Instead of, hey, how did it go today with...
Yeah. What's the current state of your emotions right now, Eliza?
Or how are you? That open-ended question is kind of overwhelming for many of us, but especially I think for a preteen and teen. Why do you think?
Well, that's a good question. You know, moms, it's like, if you pause for a second, maybe your girl's 13, maybe she's 16, maybe she's younger, maybe she's older. There's a lot going on during the teen years. Brain development, not done till 25, 26. So this whole decision-making center still being worked on.
It's called the executive function.
Yeah, right? Not done yet, no executive function completely in place.
So sometimes we have to be the executives. Oh God. And we're overwhelmed too. We've got a lot going on too. And we're also the adults here. So it's reminding you moms to ask the right question or to know how to engage and connect is so much about being comfortable in your body and in your reality as the one in the relationship who is the mature adult.
Yeah. So also for girls, it's hormones, expectations of school, relationships, what's romance, what's puberty, what's sexuality. That's just 7 of 25 we could get in depth with. And so when, say for example, your daughter comes home from school and maybe the instinct is to ask, oh, how was school today? Well, for a 13-year-old, Mom, that's a really big question. School was a lot of things. I got into this happened and that happened, and it's kind of paradoxical because I feel happy and stressed and good and not good and scared, and it's the emotional current of a teenage girl's life is so rich and so dense that sometimes, in fact, I'd say almost always, getting more specific with your questions is where you're going to find the gold. So instead of how was school today, it might be, how did your Spanish test go? Or
a little bit less overwhelming.
Yeah, like it's a specific, and it's showing attunement. It's showing, hey, I remember that was happening today. I'm on your team. I get what's going on. Or, oh, how's Lucy doing? I remember she was struggling a little bit. Is this week a little bit better for her? Like, you are showing that you care and you're paying attention by the attention to detail that you're holding. You know, sometimes when we get general in any relationship, they're kind of lazy questions because we're not pausing to go a little bit deeper and check in with the other person's reality. Like, whatever age we are, you know, like I'm 25 and I know that the more my mama like knows what's going on with me and does her best to remember certain details, the more like I'm really touched by every time that she really narrows in on what's real for me.
And so this is another example in mothering and daughtering.
You want to hold my hand, don't you? You like this.
Another example how in mothering and daughtering and keeping your bond strong through the preteen and teen years.
And beyond.
That in these little ways, these are little tools, it's right. It's not, I don't have to ask the perfect question or be afraid of what my daughter's gonna, you know, push me away. It's more just having that confidence, easing in, you got this, Mom, and saying, you know, how'd the Spanish test go? I really like that. I like that attention to detail, and your daughter will too. And it's just gonna keep building that bond stronger during the preteen and teen years.
Yeah, and sometimes when you go right for the jugular, right for that intense question, sometimes any of us humans, but especially teenage girls, our instinct is to bolt. And so I like this.
The intense question being the open-ended one, you mean, like the overwhelming question?
No, or even something kind of like, you know, a big topics up at home, you know, like, say for example, one that's happening in a lot of homes is like, say, divorce or separations in your family. And, you know, you're wanting to check in with your girl and see how she's doing. And the question you might, in an adult brain, want to ask is, how are you doing with the divorce? Which might be an appropriate question to say, ask to a girlfriend who's going through that in her own marriage. But with a teenage girl or preteen, that might be a pretty scary question. And so instead, I like this image of like, instead of going right for it, you kind of sidle around the side. You kind of get smart with it. You know, like my mom would sometimes ask when I come home from school, instead of being like really going for the question she really wanted, she'd go, do you want some tea? And I come in, I go, yeah, I want some tea. And then we'd end up drinking tea together and the conversation would start to happen. So I don't want you to be afraid, moms, that the big questions are maybe scaring your girl, that there are smart ways that you can sort of find a strategy to gently pull her in where the conversation is also comfortable for her.
Yeah, you're making it comfortable, you're providing the space, literally, and the comfort level, and then she'll come to you. She'll come to you. You're cultivating that bond.
So, what we want to know is this. Actually, we want you to go practice. Take this tool of sometimes the unconventional approach, the sidling around to ask the question that then maybe leads 20 minutes later to the deeper question. How's it going? Share your experience and maybe what your wins are as you begin to find unconventional and new ways to connect to your daughter.
So head over to the blog and leave your comments, your golden nuggets of wisdom in the comment section below.
Did this video help you? Share the love on Facebook or tweet it out.
Whatever platform you can wrap your head around, moms.
It's true for her, right? Because sharing is caring and everyone could use a stronger bond.
Yeah, really. And so when in doubt, remember, you totally have this, Mom. You got this. You got this. Just keep practicing. And be part of the thriving here that we got going on in this community, and not just surviving with your preteen or teen daughter and beyond.
And we'll see you the week after next on We Thrive TV.
Looking forward.